my name is Hanna Van Aelst. I'm an artist and a basket maker, and today I want to show you my willow beds. So come along. We grow willow in three different places. One is close to the house. It's a terraced bed that we've built up over time. So we probably put in the highest beds maybe 7-8 years ago, and the lowest bed is only put in last year. So there's different ages in that. Then we also have some more willow down in a different field that I will show you as well, that we have fenced off for deer with a living willow fence. And then we have in another patch by the vegetable garden, there's some willow beds as well. So let me show you around. So these beds are the beds closest to our house. They're in the garden. As you can see, they are in terraces. So what happened first was that the site where we live is very steep, and to be able to grow anything at all, we had to terrace it. And we grew some vegetables on this for the first few years, so all the terraces were worked. But after a while, my husband Jeff really didn't feel like dragging all the manure up all the time, and we decided to put them into willow. They're doing really well, even though the sides, you would say, are a little bit drier. But I suppose here in Ireland they have plenty of rain and moisture most of the time. So these plants, as you can see here, they're about 5 years old. So we have the main stem here, and every year we trim them back down to the main stem, and then you'll get those new shoots coming up that at this stage are already, depending on variety, some of them, these are about 2 feet tall, and these ones are stronger ones, they're the Harrisons. These are already like 4 foot. All these plants have been planted through a weed suppressor. This one is a Mypex. It's like a woven fabric where we planted them through to keep the weeds down. This little stump is probably about 3 years old. So now I'm just walking down to the field where I will show you a different willow bed that we have made there. It is quite different to the other ones in that we didn't use any weed control like a plastic or a Mypex in this bed. We went with mulch for the first few years, and after that it's just grazed once a year. So this is the bed I am talking about. As you can see, it's fenced around the outside with a living willow fence because of deer. So this is in the field down the road from us where there's a lot of deer here. First year we thought we would just plant the willow and the deer would nibble at it a little bit, but we wouldn't had that much damage, but turned out they absolutely loved it and stripped the willow completely. The second year we put an electric fence around it. They kept them out for a few months until they realised that when they jump through the fence they wouldn't feel it. So that's why at the very end there you can see the willow is gone. We haven't replanted that yet, and then in the middle it's very patchy. So some of those willow stumps that were eaten by the deer completely died. And then the third year we put a living willow fence around it. It's growing, it's all green now, and that really kept them out. And I think mainly it's a visual thing. They can't actually get through, obviously, either. But it's also a visual block, so they don't see anything on the inside, so they don't try to break through. Let me show you. So with these beds we wanted to kind of do a little bit of an experiment. We didn't want to use any plastic. So what we did is we dug trenches beside each bed. The beds are about 4 meters wide, and threw the soil onto the bed and then planted into it. And then for the first year or two we mulched it with either cardboard, hay, rushes, anything we had. We used it to keep the weeds down. It was a lot of hard work. There's a lot of time went into that. But now that they're established, these are just cut back once a year, and then in winter time, once they're harvested, we let the animals in. We have donkeys, so we let them graze in between the plants, clean it up before it goes again. So the plants are big enough. There is some grass in between them, but most of it is kind of shaded out by the leaves once the plants grow bigger, and the plants are strong enough to have a little bit of grass in between. They're well established. Even better would be if you have chickens or ducks or something and let them graze in between the willow all year round. But because we are a little bit away from the house here, we can't do that because of foxes. So this piece of land is kind of triangular in shape, and each side has a very wide willow bed on the outside. And then we planted fruit trees, and then the middle part is all grain and vegetables. And these plants are in probably about 5 years. As you can see, the stump is, maybe you can't really see, but the stump is quite big already. And so they're well established, they're in full production. So the first year you get very little from them, and most of them might be branchy and not really very useful. Second year you'll get a bit more, and by year 4 or 5 they're really, you get after year 4 or 5 you get a full crop. And as for maintenance, it's very easy. You just let them grow all season. I go through them and check for diseases or pests. Sometimes they get the green fly or black fly. You might have to do something about that. But other than that, I don't do much until the leaves have fallen, and in the winter time, and we can start harvesting, and then they're just cut all the way back down to the stem and then left to dry out for next season of weaving. And these plants were just added on this year, only just starting to grow. These are some oats that we're growing here. And at the back there, the longer ones are rye grain. So that's it. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below and I'll find them there. If you've enjoyed this video, you can subscribe to my channel so you'll get notifications every time I put up a new video. For now, keep on weaving. Bye.